Now you got to remember there's a lot of thermal mass in that warehouse. So it might be 22 degrees below zero outside, but the mass in there won't let it get much colder than about 5 degrees. So that's a 120 plus degree swing between summer and winter, which is profound in the industry. You just don't see that in Kentucky, where 95, 98% of the bourbon comes from. So that's one of the major contributing factors to why our bourbon is so different, really, at the end of the day. And the other is, on a daily basis, you see massive temperature swings. I would say the largest swing would be somewhere in the maybe 30 to 40 degree change from morning till evening. And that would be in the middle of summer, where you're going to hit 100 degrees during the day, and you might get down to maybe 70 at night, maybe a little lower. And that daily swing in temperatures pushes the whiskey out into the wood, and the night sucks it back in. It pushes, sucks it back in. And that's where we really gain a lot of maturation, because that's not happening to the same extent in climates where there's a lower swing. Where we lose our maturation is in the winter, because when a barrel drops below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, all maturation stops. It basically goes into hibernation, and we liken it somewhat to a grizzly bear. When it hibernates, it does not age, and it actually takes on a wet, grassy note. So this program that we're doing with Bob here gets all but suspended in the winter months, because we can't be sampling barrels that are 30 degrees, because they just don't present as well as they should, and we don't want to be getting that out into the market. So that's really the basics behind our product, how we make small batch, and we create what we call the COV flavor profile, which is caramel, orange, and vanilla. Those are the three base flavors that you're going to get from our base product, from our small batch. Is Nancy Fraley, after Steve left after being with us for about 8 years, Nancy Fraley came in, and she's absolutely a superhero. She should wear a cape. What she could smell and taste is it's abnormal. And luckily for us, she's on our side, and she will go through and taste hundreds of barrels every visit, and she will build each of our batches like a pyramid. She'll take maybe 25 or so barrels from what we call the A flavor profile, which is in the bottom of the warehouse. She'll take about 15 or so barrels in the B flavor profile, which is in the like D and E racks. So that'd be the fourth and fifth, and then 3 or 4 barrels from the F rack at the very top to make this collective profile. The lower in the warehouse, the softer the whiskey. The higher in the warehouse, the spicier the whiskey. So that's the top of the warehouse is where you'll get cinnamon notes, allspice, things like that. You'll get the nuttiness kind of in the middle, and the bottom of the warehouse is when you get those real base flavor profiles. Everybody has a different opinion on where they like their whiskey to come from. You all, and Bob, you'll get into this in a little bit as far as why you selected yours. But we're trying to maintain a consistent product with our small batch, so that regardless of which batch you get, this is batch 71. If you picked up 60, or if you pick up 75 or 90 in the future, you should be getting the almost exact same flavor that you're getting here. And of course, we're always making minor, subtle, nuanced adjustments to this and trying to improve upon it. But at the end of the day, it's not our goal to blow you away with new flavors with this. This is supposed to be the same every time that you pick it up.
When I was talking to Herb and then looped in with David about the private stock barrel, everything happened quick. And we at the Bistro, we often say things have to move at the speed of Bob. Wyoming Whiskey and Edrington moves at least at the speed of Bob. Things happened very quickly, and it was amazing at how fast everything lined up. Even in 2020, everything lined up perfectly, and everything reached the goal and landed into the state on time. But it started with a simple box of 4 samples, and the samples were different barrels to choose from, and it was 4 bottles ranging from 5.5 years to 7.5 years, and 114 proof to 121 proof. And when I first got the box, I opened it up, I put them on the bar, and I said to Dustin, there is no way we are picking the 121 proof. Like, that is not going to work for us. And he's like, I agree, Bob, we're not doing that. We open up the things, we pour everything in the bottles or in the glasses and the samples. We let them open up, We let them breathe. We let them do what they're supposed to do. We come back to them 30 minutes later. Courtney, in that meantime, has marked what glasses have what samples in it, so we don't know. Taste the first one, put it down. Taste the second one. We're like, that's the 121 proof. We're not going with that one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Write down our 1 through 4 on it. Take a second. Retaste. Add water. Retaste. Keep updating our 1 through 4 and go back. Dustin and I had the exact same 1 through 4, and the 121 proof was the number 1 on both of ours. And the 114 that we were like, we are not going with that one, was the number 4 on all of ours. Not that there's a big difference between 114 and 121 when you're talking about those numbers, but it's interesting to say, like, when people look at something and they automatically say, I'm not going to enjoy that because of this number or this whatever. It goes back to my days of when I was supposed to be a kindergarten teacher. And again, I'll show of hands how many people are happy I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I always said to the students, like, don't yuck somebody's yum. Don't be afraid of the big number. Because when the bourbon is made with such a craftsmanship and everything else, the number isn't what dictates the taste of it. So when Dustin and I were tasting this, on the nose of it, it was a lot of caramel as it opened up, a lot of those sweeter flavors on the nose, which I am automatically drawn to. And then when you taste it, and let it roll back, you get the cherry and you finish with the tobacco. And I love that feeling, and I love that taste. And you don't get the burn. You don't feel, at least it's not like drinking 121 proof. That 114, that 116, I felt it, and when you add a little bit of water or an ice cube, if you choose, it opens up all the flavors, and it has like so much more robust taste to it. And Dustin and I were just blown away by it. The color, the taste, the flavor. And we're like, yep, that's the one. That's hands down. I think we made the decision in about 40 minutes, and about 30 of that was letting the bourbon breathe. So cheers to 6006.
And one thing, Bob, that I'd add is when it comes to all of our whiskeys, none of them drink to proof. Most people have said that, they're scared when they see 121 on the bottle. But the moment that they sample it, they're like, no way. Like, that's dangerously high proof because you're not tasting that heat. And no argument that 121 is a high proof point. But like you say, a little bit of water using this handy dandy tool that you sent out to everybody, or an ice cube. I like one good ice cube in it, and let that mellow a little bit. It opens up all the flavors. The remaining heat doesn't overpower all those beautiful flavors that you've identified. And this, I remember bottling this myself. Many of you have the bottles that I signed, that I put Novio's Bistro on. And I was like, this is the best barrel that we did all day. And we had done 6 of them that day. So yeah, I think you picked an absolute winner on this one. If you'll look on your sample bottle, for those of you who are listening, you'll see the location was warehouse B, which is our second warehouse that we built. It's immediately next, it's not immediate. There's A is right next to the distillery. B is at the southernmost point. It holds about 2,400 barrels. This was in the 13th aisle and the very top of the warehouse. So F is the top. And so this is going to have a lot more complexity to it than the barrels in the lower part of the warehouse. So I normally am one who's going to pick from maybe A, B, or C ricks, but this one is absolutely spectacular for all the reasons that you described. I want to first of all thank Herb for doing what he's done for us in Maine and in the entire Northeast, and for fighting for the following 2 charities that have been identified as worthy of a donation from Wyoming Whiskey. So we are donating $5,000 to be split evenly between the Penobscot Theater Company and the Bangor Symphony Orchestra as well. And it's fantastic what you guys are doing. We're proud to contribute this money to you. And we want to thank you for all of your support. And we hope you come to Novio's and drink a lot of our whiskey.
This is incredible. David, thank you. This is just, it's extraordinary. This has been a very, very difficult time for the performing arts. And we moved to Bangor largely because we knew that the community was so supportive of the arts. And the fact is that we're starting, this is our 125th anniversary season. So what a way to kick it off, huh? But the longevity of the orchestra is due to the fact that the people in the community have recognized how important the arts are to living and the quality of life. And we're so grateful to you, to Wyoming Whiskey, for making it possible for us to continue. And we are offering, we have a lot of content online, and we're actually starting our season officially at the end of January with music of Bloch and Bach. And we look forward to being back in person with everybody as soon as possible. But thank you. We're very, very grateful for that financial support. It's tremendous.
Well, on behalf of Brad and Kate Mead, me, everybody in the Wyoming Whiskey organization, and Edrington, with a special call out to Herb, it's our pleasure.
Thank you.
And I think I just saw Barry as well.
Yeah,
Barry.
I'm here. When Bob told me about this, I was so stunned because I had had such a hard day of being told that foundations and other places where we used to get grants were no longer giving to the arts. And so when Bob called me and told me about this, it made my day. I started wondering about our essentialness, you know? So like Lucas and the Bangor Symphony Orchestra, my husband and I are here from Los Angeles because we could not believe what the audience would do at the end of a play. They rise to their feet. I'd never seen anything like it, and I've lived all over the country. And I miss that so much right now. We own and operate a 100-year-old opera house that we decked out for Christmas because somebody said there was a contest, and I just want to say that we rocked it. And we consider ourselves deeply rooted in this community, and our mission, first and foremost, like every other nonprofit, is to serve our community and hold hands with Bob and the other independent businesses in our region and drink up. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Makes us very happy.
I'll say I've lived all over the world, you know, from the time I was a child, you know, in the military, and then my service in the military, and then coaching, moving around quite a bit, and then finally make my home in Bangor. And it wouldn't be the same without those two organizations. So if you have the ability to support them, you know, register for or sign up, buy a ticket for one of their online performances, or subscribe to the season. It also makes a great gift. And if I can just make one more plug for Stompers, Wyoming Whiskey in Edrington believes in Bangor. And they just, again, prove not only by making their time available and this privilege of having the whiskey here, but they believe in Bangor and they believe in the arts in Bangor. So let's support them. I would like to thank everyone again for coming in. Hopefully we see you in a way that makes you feel comfortable. We're doing the right thing here. We have 4 tables available, 2 bar stools, dine in, takeout, and delivery. And you can get those cocktails, and we'll make sure we put the small batch and private stock on the takeout menu as well. So if you want additional small pours, you can do that. But thank you all so much for joining us this evening. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, either in person or on Zoom in the near future. David, thank you so much.